This is WKYT This Morning.
It's Friday. Good morning to you and welcome in to WKYT This Morning. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. Thanks so much for joining us.
A lot going on this morning at 6:30. Brazilian authorities are letting the remaining U.S. swimmer involved in the Ryan Lochte robbery controversy head back home to the United States today. We'll have the latest on that just ahead.
Also, the 10-year anniversary of the Comair Flight 5191 crash is little more than a week away. This weekend, there will be a volleyball tournament to honor one of the victims. We'll have more on that coming up.
And today, hundreds of freshmen will be moving into the University of Kentucky's dorms. We'll have that and a lot more, including your weekend forecast this morning.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of rain out there early this morning. A few showers here and there. Central southern zones, those are moving eastbound. We did have brief heavy downpours within this, but nothing to be concerned about. Now, the afternoon, a few storms here and there, but it's really about tracking this big front this weekend. How you're going to plan around these storms, I'm going to break down the timeline for you coming up in a few minutes.
All right, let's get everybody up to the minute on the news. Brazilian authorities will now allow the remaining U.S. swimmer involved in the Ryan Lochte robbery controversy head back to the States today. But it's going to come at a price.
Michelle Chamberlain's at the Alert Desk with details.
Team USA swimmers Gunnar Bentz and Jack Conger boarded a plane last night to head back to the United States, while teammate James Fegan will be heading back later today. Fegan testified before a Brazilian judge in Rio overnight. As for Bentz and Conger, they were detained on Wednesday as Brazilian authorities investigated the swimmers' claims they, along with Ryan Lochte, were robbed at gunpoint. Lochte has been in the United States and his story has not changed. Officials say surveillance video shows the swimmer's story to not be true. They also say the video shows the swimmers being confronted by armed security after vandalizing a gas station. Fegan, like I said, will be flying back to the U.S. today. His lawyer says the swimmer reached an agreement to pay more than $10,000 to be allowed to head back to the States. His lawyer says the money will be donated to, quote, an institution. It is a Brazilian law. If you make a donation to avoid, you can make a donation to avoid criminal prosecution for minor offenses. Bill?
All right, Michelle, thank you. It's been a week-long drama and a lot of folks talking about it, no doubt. Our time this morning is 6:32. Two people charged in connection with the murder of a 2-year-old Rowan County boy are expected to make a plea deal today. Police say 2-year-old Nathaniel Jones was found unresponsive by his mother back in 2009. A year later, the boy's mother, Tia Jones, and her boyfriend, Brian Gallagher, were charged with murder and criminal abuse. Investigators say testing revealed that Nathaniel had died from injuries to his stomach. They say it took more than a year to bring the charges against the couple because of delays in medical testing results.
A Laurel County man charged in connection to the death of his girlfriend is expected to be sentenced today. Police originally charged Christopher Bird with the murder of Shannon Engel, but earlier this month the jury found him guilty of reckless homicide. Police say Bird shot Engel during an argument July of last year. A jury recommended Bird serve a 1-year sentence. The 10-year anniversary of the tragic Comair crash 5191 is still just more than a week away.
But tomorrow, a special memorial volleyball tournament is going to be held in memory of one of the crash victims. It has been held every year since the crash. WKYT's Mike Byer is live with details of that. Mike?
Good morning, Bill. I'm at the UK Arboretum, which is home to the Comair Flight 5191 Memorial. For the 10th year in a row, family and friends of a person killed in that plane crash are coming together for a volleyball tournament. Fenton Dawson died when Comair Flight 5191 crashed near the Bluegrass Airport in August of 2006. Dawson was an avid volleyball player, and his loved ones decided to honor him by playing a tournament in his name each year. This year will be bittersweet for organizers and participants, as it will be the final year of the event. The tournament will take place tomorrow at the UK Basketball Academy in Lexington. The net proceeds of the event raised over the last 10 years will go toward a preservation fund for the Comair Flight 5191 Memorial here at the UK Arboretum. To commemorate the 10th anniversary of the plane crash, a memorial service will be held here at the Arboretum next Saturday at 10 a.m. WKYT will have full coverage of that event. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, now a very solemn place over there, and we thank you for the update and that tournament where they will be remembered this weekend. Our time is coming up on 6:35. The trend of scattered showers that we have seen throughout much of the week looks like it will continue at least heading into the weekend. Then some nice changes are on the way.
Yeah, focusing on that nice word right there, Micah.
Yeah, that would be nice, right? And we head off towards your Sunday afternoon into next week. That's where it looks phenomenal. It feels great. Trust me, everybody will love this weather. I say everybody because I know there's some people that really like the hot weather, but you just cannot not like this weather that's coming up. I just don't see how it's possible. But you have some showers going on early this morning, and you see that tracking over into the southern zones, mainly southern zones. You're getting a few blips here and there across central areas, but some of those are pretty heavy downpours, but they're very brief, nothing to be concerned about. It's more of a nuisance than anything else. Little fog out there early this morning. It's patchy here and there. You can see that off in the distance in London and also Jackson. You can't even see the trees out there in Breathitt County. Lexington, Frankfort, they look pretty good at this moment. And as we track through your day, a few storms will be with us later on this afternoon. But it's not so much about today that we're concerned about. However, we could have an isolated flooded spot. There's no doubt about that. But it's really this weekend with this big cold front. I'm going to show you when the rain arrives. I'm going to take you hour by hour, help you plan out the rest of your weekend for all these events going on. That's coming up.
All right, we'll hope to get that rain on out of here.
Yeah.
It's going to be. Here's a talker that people yesterday were stirred up all over about.
It's really an interesting video here. A funnel cloud seen in the skies over Winchester quickly became the talk of the town.
Many people shared eyewitness pictures and videos of it with us. Clark County Emergency Management sounded the county sirens as a precaution, even though there was not a tornado warning. They made the local judgment there that people at least needed to know this was going on. Emergency officials say there are no reports of any damage in Clark County, but it was just an unusual scene, and again something that was talked about yesterday and probably will continue to be for a while to come. Two professional kayakers who went over Cumberland Falls will be back at the falls tomorrow. You may remember this viral video of the two pros riding over the falls. They were cited for trespassing there at the state park. Well, tomorrow they will be at Cumberland Falls as part of their diversion program to do kayaker safety training. They'll be giving advice to others about riding the wild river there.
A Lexington baby previously reported as having been infected with Zika does not have the virus after all. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recently amended the infant's lab test from positive to negative after retesting of the original sample indicated the baby was not exposed to the virus in the womb, as was originally thought in July. A spokesperson for the CDC says the agency revisits and updates testing and clinical guidance on Zika virus as new evidence becomes available.
State police say they have found more explosive devices in Harlan County. Two devices near the Woodland Hill subdivision were removed safely. In June, police arrested Mark Swaff and charged him with putting explosives in trail cameras. Last week, investigators took him to the area to help them find more IEDs. But police say Swaff tried to escape and fought with them before he was shot and killed by a Lexington fire investigator.
3 people face charges this morning in connection to hundreds of car thefts throughout central Kentucky. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office says Justin Henderson and 2 juveniles are charged with receiving stolen property. Investigators say most of the thefts were in Franklin and Anderson counties, but they think similar ones in Scott and Shelby counties could also be connected. The Sheriff's Office says nearly 100 stolen items have been recovered. Investigators say more arrests are expected in the case. We have a happy update to a story we first told you about earlier this week. A Lincoln County couple says they found the family members of a World War II veteran whose Bible they found. Mark and Deanna Young have spent the past couple of days trying to track down Milton Cummins' relatives. After getting some help, they were able to track down one of the soldiers' descendants who was in town from Michigan on a business trip. Last night, they surprised Milton's nephew with the missing family heirloom.
It was God's perfect timing that just brought this all together. And of course, you know, the beautiful people of the Youngs to get this Bible into our hands, it just means so much to our family. It really does.
Max says he thinks the family lost track of the Bible after an estate sale shortly after their Uncle Milton died.
All right, good. That story ended well, and a smile certainly on his face as he gets that back within the family. Well, the Woodland Art Fair is coming up this weekend. You'll probably spot something you want. More than 200 artists will showcase their work at Woodland Park. There will also be some live music and entertainment, as well as food and drink vendors. Always fun. The fair is free. It's open to the public. Find you a parking spot somewhere and walk on in. It will run from 10 until 6 tomorrow and from 10 until 5 on Sunday. It's always an enjoyable time down there.
Oh, it is a really, really great event. Well, the last installment of incoming students will move into their new homes at the UK campus starting today.
Right. More than 5,600 students will be living on campus in housing this fall. The majority have already moved in, you may have noticed, but the remaining students will be arriving on campus this weekend. Nearly 800 freshmen will be moving in today, and just over 500 students are expected to move in tomorrow. Classes for UK's fall semester will begin on Wednesday. Now, for more information on traffic impact during the move-in times, you can visit WKYT.com. It's also lively down at Eastern, where they're moving in, and all the kids getting ready for a great school year, hopefully ahead. A little homesick, but they'll be fine.
Yeah, they will be okay. John Calipari has already had one New York Times bestseller book with Players First, Coaching from the Inside Out, and now Calipari is ready to release a new book.
It's coming up soon. His newest book, titled Success is the Only Option, The Art of Coaching Extreme Talent, will hit the stands on November 15th. In the book, the coach explains how he takes high school superstars to play as a team, get them to jail. Calipari also goes in depth explaining his team-building methods, which can be applied to CEOs, business owners, coaches, teachers, and leaders of every kind. So he's looking forward to getting that out there, and there's sort of a pre-release sale, I think, starting soon, if not already underway. So Coach Cal with a new book.
All right, let's get a check of traffic, see what's happening out there.
Let's go out to Officer Dodd with a check on live drive traffic. He's at the studios of 98.1 The Bull. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, the problem we had on Alumni has been cleared, so you're not going to have any trouble through there. It's just normal stuff. Roads are a little wet this morning in places, so keep that in mind on the way in. Quick look outside. We'll show you drive times from Nicholasville, 12 minutes, Georgetown, 17, and Paris, it's about 19 minutes. Things are holding right now there on Paris Pike. Live look, courtesy of the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government at Georgetown and New Circle. Now back to you.
Okay, things starting to pick up out there on this Friday morning. Everybody be safe. You can get the latest traffic and weather info anytime with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. Download that for free in the app or Google Play stores. And our time is 6:42. Coming up more on WKYT this Friday morning.
Yeah, a lot in store. California Aquarium has two new additions making their big debut. We'll take a closer look at two baby penguins. You got to see this adorable video when we come back.
And we have some showers out there early this morning. These are tracking eastbound, and we still have a little bit more rain over in Tennessee heading our direction, too. We're going to go over that and that big cold front this weekend, how to plan around with your events. I'll have that coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We have a few showers outside, and there are some heavy downpours. They're brief, but they're heavy. And let's zoom on in. Let me show you exactly where I'm looking at that. A little blob of rain rolling through southern portions of Leslie County and also southern portions of Clay County. And then we have some heavier downpours. If you work your way back toward the South Fork region, and that's actually in Lincoln County, a community there in between 127 and 27, one shower, heavy downpour rolling just south of Houstonville. Hall's Gap heads up. That's where you're going to be seeing this next, and then Crab Orchard, you'll be next in line. Another one coming out of, say, the Renfro Valley area, moving into eastern portions of Rockcastle County, about to slide into McKee and Jackson County. McKee, you got about, I'd say about 15 minutes or so before it passes over you on 421. Those are heavy downpours. They last 3-4 minutes, and then they move on past you, and that's about it. Woodland Art Fair going on this weekend here in Lexington. It's going to be Saturday and Sunday. We will be down there Saturday morning. It'll be me, Bill, and Barb early in the morning on Saturday, so we'd love to see you out there, and a lot of the WKYT crew members will be down there to hang out with you guys. Bluegrass Festival going on, the Lake Cumberland Bluegrass Festival. That's today and tomorrow. I would say the best chance of rain for that area is actually today. Tomorrow during the daylight hours, 40% chance, and then off into the evening and night. That's when the bulk of it slides on in. Kentucky State Fair, that's now through next Sunday. You have plenty of time for that. It's over in Louisville. And Pioneer Days in Harrodsburg, roughly 80 degrees. That's today and through the weekend. And things are looking not too bad. I don't want to say great. They're not great, but it's not too bad. 40% chance of rain during the daylight hours. So go as early as possible, because late afternoon off into the evening hours, we'll start to see some storms move on in on your Saturday. Today, a few storms impacting high school football. I would say for the most part, no. However, an isolated shower or thunderstorm is possible there at kickoff. By the end of games, all should be well. Off towards your Saturday, that cold front slides on in. Daylight hours, here's the breakdown for you to help you plan out. Daylight hours, 40% chance of rain. It's more of hit and miss activity. Then we get into the evening and night. I would say right now around 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. is when it slides into the west. The main action, okay? Slides in the west, and it really becomes widespread late evening, off into the nighttime hours when most of us are in bed asleep. Now, that's some pretty heavy rain. We're right there at 100%. Everybody gets the rain Saturday night into early Sunday morning. By the time you're heading off to church, I would say eastern zones there on Sunday morning could have a few showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder. But trust me on this, you will absolutely love the afternoon weather. 77 degrees Sunday afternoon. Everybody will be dry. It looks really good. It feels great. That takes you off into next week. Finally getting the atmospheric pattern change. That's what we have needed. We needed something to knock something out, and we're going to do that. Getting rid of those spotty storms every single day.
It's just been unbelievable where those storms are just here, there, you know, and yonder, all over the
Trying to get
map.
rid of them.
You're a hand talker, aren't you?
Yeah, I can
hand
do
talker
that
today.
Right. Okay. 6:48 our time right now.
In Long Beach, California, two baby penguins were waddling their way into the world.
They are cute. These two little guys are officially on display at the Aquarium of the Pacific. They were born back in May, and one of them still needs a name. So the aquarium is letting people submit a name for the penguin along with a donation. Little catch there. The winner will get to go into the habitat and actually feed the penguins. But for those of us who can't make it out to California, here is a look inside the aquarium's June Jay's penguin exhibit. This is their below water penguin cam, courtesy of Explore.com. So you can see how they are when they get back in the water.
That's pretty neat.
We had a little penguin here from Cincinnati Zoo a couple of months back, and Micah put it on his Facebook, and it was running through the halls there, chasing around. Cutest thing.
They are so neat.
They really are. All right, 6:49 is the time on WKYT.
We have more news. Stick around with us.
Coming up, is there a shift in Donald Trump's campaign tone? John Dickerson joins us after the candidate expresses regret. Plus, U.S. Olympic gold medal gymnast Simone Biles talks to us from Rio. More real news coming up on CBS This Morning, next.
Welcome back. Some U.S. swimmers are in hot water after making a false robbery claim.
And that is one of the stories making headlines this morning. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain joins us now with a look at what's trending on the web. Michelle?
Bill, the lawyer for U.S. Olympic swimmer James Fegan, says the swimmer will pay nearly $11,000 to leave Brazil. This comes after police say Ryan Lochte claimed he and 3 of his teammates were held at gunpoint and robbed. Brazilian police say the athletes were drunk, vandalized a bathroom, and then were questioned by armed guards before they paid for the damage and left. You'll also see some video of this funnel cloud spotted in Clark County. It is still trending on our website. Many of you at home sent us pictures and video of the cloud. That and details on UK basketball coach John Calipari's new book. That's on our website. For the first time, Coach Cal goes in depth on his team building methods, and success is the only option, the art of coaching extreme talent. That's sure to be a popular book. And those are the stories trending on our website, WKYT.com. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. A crash involving 2 semi-trucks left a big mess on a Georgia roadway, but the spilled cargo gave crews a chance to cool off during the cleanup. Police say thousands of Gatorade bottles were scattered across the roadway after the semis crashed just outside Atlanta. No injuries were reported, but the mess provided a perfect way for emergency officials to quench their thirst during the cleanup process. They're staying hydrated. That's good to hear.
And as if lightning is not scary enough, check out this monstrous lightning strike that looks unmistakably like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. The National Park Service posted the pic on their Facebook page. It was captured at Blue Mesa in Arizona's Petrified Forest National Park.
Cool.
That is something, huh?
That is amazing.
Wow, what a lightning bolt.
Kind of scary, too. Usain Bolt has done it again. The Jamaican sprinter won the 200 meters to complete the sprint double for a 3rd straight Olympics. Bolt wanted to lower his world record time of 19.19 seconds, but a light drizzle of rain contributed to a slightly slower winning time. Bolt has 8 gold medals and the chance for a 9th as part of Jamaica's 400-meter relay today. The win would give him the triple of golds at the Summer Games in Rio. So speaking of Bolt, There you go.
Exactly. There's a bold. Yeah.
There's your transition. Nice. If you're looking for something to do tonight, several things going on around Lexington. The Miss West Lexington Beauty Pageant is tonight.
Last year's Miss Kentucky, Miss Clark Davis, will be emceeing the event, which is part of the year-long Douglas Park Centennial Celebration. That pageant starts at 5 o'clock this evening. Another event this evening, Summer Wine Down. The event features local award-winning wines, food trucks, and live music. Proceeds will go to the American Diabetes Association here in the Bluegrass. The Summer Wine Down starts at 7 at Talon Winery. Tickets for that, $15 in advance. They'll be $20 at the door. So some things going on there.
Lots of stuff going on, and hopefully that weather, Micah, will hold for some of these events.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too. There is a chance of rain later on today for some of us. Already seeing that this morning. Some pretty heavy downpours rolling through that Lincoln County area and now making its way over into Jackson County. So heads up McKee about 15-20 minutes and it's going to head through your direction. A few light showers here and there, but those are the two spots. One's going to roll just north of Waynesburg across 27, and then we see it slide off into, say, northern portions of Rockcastle County very shortly. I'd say another 30-45 minutes. And so there are some heavy downpours, and they're brief. They'll last those two will last about 5 to 10 minutes. But you get some heavy rain out of that. High school football being impacted by the storms this afternoon and evening. Not so much. Most of us stay dry, but we cannot rule out an isolated storm here or there. So just keep that in mind. If you hear that thunder, obviously, you might want to try to get under the bleachers or head indoors somewhere, okay? So Saturday, here comes the cold front, and this is what a lot of you want to know. When does it arrive, okay? So daylight hours, 40% chance of rain. So you'll have kind of hit and miss activity during the daylight hours. That's when you knock out your plans, because evening and night, here comes 100% chance of rain. That's when the bulk of the rain moves on in, and it slides on out of here for the most part. Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon looks fantastic.
All right. It's never easy to say goodbye, but after hundreds of mornings
Yes.
of getting up very early and meeting you bright and early,
Yeah.
dark and early, as we say, Rebecca's moving on.
Yeah, thanks for everyone's support. It's really been a real pleasure serving the viewers of Central Kentucky for the last 3 years. I'm terrible at goodbyes, so I'll just say see ya.
Good luck to you.
Thanks.
All right. Nobody's more up to date than you. Thanks for being with us. Have a good weekend.